The Curse of Malachi. Drew, in the forgotten town of Brackenmore, where the fog clung to the earth like a shroud, there lived a man named Malachi Drew, the richest and most feared soul for miles. His mansion loomed at the edge of the black woods, built of stone so old it seemed to swallow light. Malachi had inherited wealth, but multiplied it through cruelty. He bought land from starving farmers for pennies. He evicted widows in the dead of winter. He sent debt collectors to break doors. And sometimes bones. His heart was not merely cold, it was dead. No one saw him smile except when someone else suffered. The beggar at the gate won. Bitter night, a ragged old beggar knocked on Malachi's iron gate. Snowstorm winds whipped his thin coat as he trembled violently.
"Please," the beggar pleaded, "I need shelter or I will die out here."
Malachi appeared at the window, holding a golden goblet of warm wine. He stared down at the freezing man and said,
"Then, Hans, then die quietly. I don't tolerate noise."
And he shut the window. The beggar collapsed at the gate before dawn. By morning, only a frozen body remained. But as Malachi walked past, he noticed the corpse's eyes, wide open, fixed on him, unblinking, as if watching. A chill crept up Malachi's spine. But he stepped over the body and continued on his way. The hauntings begin. That night, Malachi heard knocking. Knock, knock, knock. He rose from his velvet armchair, lantern in hand, and opened the great door. No one was there, but the wind carried a whisper.
Cold, so cold.
He slammed the door shut. The next night it happened again, this time louder, angrier. Knock, knock, knock.
"Oh, who's there?" Malachi roared.
Silence. Then a low voice breathed.
"Let me in."
Malachi's blood froze. The return of the dead. Days later, Malachi attempted to distract himself with his riches, counting coins, admiring jewels, stroking rare silks. But even surrounded by wealth, he felt watched. At night, he heard footsteps in the halls. Doors creaked open on their own. His candles blew out without wind. One dawn, as he staggered into the hallway, sleep-deprived and trembling, he saw muddy footprints leading from his front door to his bedroom. Human, bare, frozen. He followed them with shaking hands until he reached the final print directly at the foot of his bed. Then he heard breathing behind him, slow, rattling, deathly. He turned. The beggar stood there, skin pale as ice, eyes black and hollow, frost dripping from his fingers.
"You shut me out," the dead man whispered. "Now no door can shut out me."
Malachi stumbled backward, gasping.
"What do you want?"
The ghost smiled, a crackling, frozen smile.
"To teach you what it is to suffer."
The fall of Malachi. Drew. From that night on, Malachi knew no peace. He felt the cold fingers of the dead clutching him in the dark. He saw ghostly shapes in every mirror, faces of all he had wronged. His vaults of gold melted into pools of black sludge. His grand mansion groaned and shuddered as if alive. He stopped eating, stopped sleeping, stopped leaving his room. But the hauntings never ceased. One stormy evening, the townsfolk heard a shriek tear through the forest, so sharp it silenced even the wolves. When they finally gathered enough courage to investigate the mansion, they found the front door wide open. Inside, everything was frozen, walls coated with frost, furniture cracked from the cold. Breath crystallized in the air. Malachi Drew was nowhere to be found, except for one detail. On the floor, near the fireplace, were footprints, two sets, one living, one dead. They led out the back door into the dark woods, where they vanished in the snow. Some say Malachi froze to death, dragged into the night by the spirit he condemned. Others say he still walks the woods, shrieking in endless terror, chased forever by the souls he wronged. But everyone agrees, when the winter winds blow through Brackenmore, you can hear a knock on the old gates. Knock, 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 and a whisper drifting through the trees.
"Let me in."